Hey, yo, what up, Bodega Podcast? You already know who it is. It's one half of the sexiest Puerto Rican studs on this planet, Ortiz, baby. And shout out to all the Bodega Podcast listeners. Ow.
This is Agatha Carter, and you're watching the Urban Wrestling Network.
Yo, this is the Lucha Thug, the one-man Lucha gang, El Rey Gordo himself, the King Fat Boy Papo Esco, and y'all rocking with the Urban Wrestling Network.
This is Shane Taylor, CEO of Shane Taylor Promotions, and you are listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
Hey, you guys, this is Christi Jaynes, and you're listening to the Urban Wrestling Network.
Over a year and a half. Good, ladies and gentlemen, it's the OG Boricua Dandara, a.k.a. the Coquito Papi. I'm here with none other than Evil Orbit, Evil Once, and Macho. I'm going to let Evil Once go into his thing, and then Macho will jump in. Gentlemen, please let them know how you've been, what's really good, and everything else.
What's up, everyone? Is your quintessential Puerto Rican muffin Jorge, as always, Evil Once, and I'm here with my afternoon snack, Evil Orbit, and of course, today I'm wearing my Christi Jaynes shirt. You know Christi Jaynes, the SWE Fury Women's Champion. Gotta represent. Yeah, baby. All day, all night. Going, Macho. Going, bro.
What's good, brother? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Macho holding it down. I'm hopping over from the MLW podcast for a minute. We're repping our dreaded Aztec, our Mayan shirt over here. The things to come. But we ain't talking about that today. We're talking about some other stuff. We gonna get into it today.
Oh yeah, hey, Macho's boring, man. He don't have no extra stuff on his name. It's just Macho.
That's it. That's all you need, brother.
None of this crazy stuff. What I will say, before we jump into anything, that Christi Jaynes shirt, every time he wears a Christi Jaynes, it reminds me of the first 3 minutes of when we were interviewing her. And she already had talked about being arrested and allegedly trying to run away from cops. And that took me to a whole different place. You have to watch the interview. We got it on the channel. I'm a big fan of Christi Jaynes and wish her nothing but the best. Gentlemen, we're just coming off Revolution, which I thought was really good. Probably one of the worst pyro endings of all time. Do you want to touch on that before? No, Macho, do you have anything to say?
Come on, Jorge, this is your happy place, bro. What's up? I mean,
well, you know, there's nothing to say. You know, people are so worried about what happened after the show that they forget what happened during the show. The show was amazing. Once again, they delivered. But once again, we have these emo-ass fans that care about people dying in the ring and having an all-out explosion to end the show. You know, I don't care for it. You know, they messed up. They know they messed up. They're going to be a gift from now on to eternity. You know, and they're going to have to make that up in the future to clean their act and do something better. But everybody knows me. I'm an in-action wrestling person. I don't care what happens outside the ring. That was all nonsense to me. I didn't care. So,
see, I'm a lot less forgiving. Like my wrestling goes all over the place. I love the CMLL. I love the Triple Mania stuff, the backyard stuff, all of it. Like, you telling me you're gonna do a barbed wire exploding match a la Mankind and go in, then you better deliver. Like, otherwise, just don't bother, man. Like, just don't do it. Like, it's of the gimmicks for a match, of the stipulations. That's one of those things where I'm like, either the guys are that good and they're not worried about getting hurt, or they're that bad and they don't care. And I don't know which one it was. So I should have kind of known going in that there was going to be something up. I expected it to be interfered and it not going through, actually. Like my expectation was that the match wasn't going to happen, but it did. All credit due. All right, they both put in the work. The match was good. It wasn't. So this is one of those things where like I have to acknowledge that the show is on a cable network, and it's never going to be as gory or as messy as some of the barbed wire matches I've seen. Like their sponsors would just pull out if it was going to be like that. So I knew I had to kind of like lower my expectations just a little bit. But that pyro, it's going to be on Botchmania for a minute, dude. Like there's no way that they walk away from that. Even you could tell even after the next night over that they were salty about it. Your boy, the Mad King, was trying his level best not to cuss, cutting that promo with Moxley, like looking like a fool, just laying out, like I don't know how long for that sparkler explosion to happen. The card was fine, but
wait. This is where I get a little defensive for the people that I actually messed with. Did you see Kingston and Moxley talking amongst that little fire pit thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that what they said there was enough to be said to right that wrong on that short little stint. That whole, even though you wanted to come at me, and Kingston, as soon as he says that, was like, the championship title brings the worst out of people. And they go back and forth, and they kind of take little shots, and everything is all love. I thought that quickly made me forget about the missing pyro. That made me go, all right, let's see what we have next. And then we found out that we have Moxley and Kingston versus the Good Brothers, who I am not a fan of the Good Brothers. I like the little guy a lot, Ken Anderson. I think he's really, really good. But I'm going to tell you now, I feel there's no way Kingston and Moxley do not walk through those guys. And not because they're Impact guys. Not at all. That has nothing to do with it. I just think that Moxley is on another level. Kingston is a brute, thug, bully kind of guy who can handle the big guy. So I think they pair up perfectly against them. And there's a lot of things like, let's just say if somehow we get a triple threat match, and this is just hypothetical, I don't know. But on Impact side, if we get the Good Brothers versus Finn Juice versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston, we have 3 different companies in one match. And I think that could be such a... And if Impact markets it right and AEW markets it and they put that on an Impact show, that just helps out Impact a lot. That's just my opinion on that.
Won't say how you feel about that.
I don't.
You don't? Wow. He's got no feels on it. All right, cool.
I already put my 2 cents in it. So
no, I'm talking about the Moxley and him taking them tag belts. I don't know, dude. Like, they're good. They're good singles guys, but like when you come down to it, good singles guys versus a good tag team in a tag match shouldn't really win. And I never like it when it works that way. Like I'm always mad when like 2 singles guys beat a really seasoned championship tag team. It shouldn't really happen very often.
I agree. I agree with Macho.
You know what? Then I'm walking away from this conversation because I don't like being outnumbered.
That's fine.
We'll go right to the Christian coming into AEW. All right, that was quick.
That was it's Captain Charisma. He's gonna like. Wow, I'm saying, bro, nothing. You're not a Christian Cage fan, but it's just like the other guys. It's like Edge, but like with less hair.
Dude, no? I'm really upset about this because it looks like they're turning into WCW. They're trying to bring all these older guys. If it was a WWE guy in his mid 30s that has something, then I'm like, okay, I see this. But now you got a 47-year-old in Christian, you got a 49-year-old in the Big Show. Guy. I mean, get somebody like Ziggler or somebody that's in the mid 30s. Then I could get pumped. But for what? Then you're gonna take time away from the young guys and shit like that. Even though they're coming out with a new show on Monday nights, which I'm gonna love. They got our homie Danny Limelight on the first show with Jungle Boy. Shout out to the boy Mi Gente over there. Danny Limelight doing his shit out there. But now you got Mondays and Tuesdays. So now basically Tuesdays is gonna be the squash night, where Monday's gonna be maybe 1-2 matches and a bunch of bios of people, and then Wednesdays is the big show. I mean, the main show. But I'm tired of you always bringing these old guys that, dude, you already left it in the ring. You've been out for like what, 7 years because of concussions? What changed now? One wrong move, he's back in the concussion protocol again. So.
Look, at the end of the day, if they get some new talent over, I'm not mad at it. Like, ultimately, that's the job. It should be the job. I'm not saying that is, but it should be. When old talent does its thing, right, and they come back and they want to make the tour and do the thing, their job should be to elevate new up-and-coming talent and give them a chance to get over, give them that rub.
Let me piggyback on that. You said Sting. It was here in a match. It was a cinematic match. One. Who did he put over?
Whoa, Sting is almost 70, bro. Whoa, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Who did he put over? He won the match.
I don't want you guys to fall off of what you're talking about. But AEW, when they came into it, said we're not going to do what everybody else does, and we're going to build talent. We're going to get a bunch of people you've never heard of and build them up. That was their thing. How quick did they go away from that? Because if you're bringing in Big Show, Christian Cage, Moxley, which Moxley is an asset because he's John Moxley. And I'm not a fan. I'm not saying I like John Moxley, but he's an asset. He's not over the hill already. You're getting Moxley, towards the tail end, but you still have him young enough where he's doing his thing.
He's in his 30s, right? In his 30s?
Dude, yeah. He's easily creeping up into 40, but dude, they even have what's his face? Miro. Okay, they're not even using Miro, and Miro's in the prime of his physical light. Like, the dude is in amazing shape.
But
he should be feuding with
the best man. He's the best man.
What did he sign off for, though?
To wrestle.
Do you think that's what it was?
Dude, the WWE cut him.
Yes.
And he's still viable. He can go anywhere and do anything. So why wouldn't he jump to AEW and take a shot at a belt?
I don't know how the booking is. I'm not even going to act like I do know. I don't care. I just watch what I watch. If I like it, I like it, and I say it. If I don't like what I like, I say it. We didn't see Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears was exiled for months, and we'll transition this into right now because obviously Christian is not popping right now, into Evil Lonce's favorite, the Four Horsemen. Shawn Spears comes out. He looks like an Eddie Edwards reject. He's now the third man in the Four Horsemen. Last week we seen
it's six horsemen, but who's counting? Carry on.
We seen Arn Anderson kind of pop out, rocking the Nightmare gear, throwing out the Four Horsemen. You're like, all right, Arn, I see you. This week we have MJF Inner Circle situation where it looks like he's now aligned with the Four Horsemen, which would make him number 4. And I'm going to let Macho go first on this because I know this is Evil Lonce's topic.
Okay. Let me take my sandals off here and get comfortable because when it comes to Tully, Arn, and all the rest of them.
Don't call them sandals. If you're going to talk about taking something off,
I'm in Texas. If I say chanclet, they're going to push me over the other side of the border. Look, here's the deal. Okay. They've had half of the Four Horsemen for a minute. And the fact that they took this long to do this is kind of surprising me. I'm going to be honest. MJF, the two, they're bruiserweights, FTR, and Shawn Spears would be fine. They calling themselves the Horsemen. I wouldn't even say the Four Horsemen. Just calling themselves the Horsemen. I'm fine with that. Okay. If they're gonna make the goal of it,
we don't even know a name yet, right?
Yeah, no. They don't have a name, but let's be honest, that they're
just throwing out the Four Horsemen thing.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. MJF has been boring the piss out of me for months, doing fuck all. Shawn Spears, as talented as he is, with his black glove gimmick, same deal. Boring me, winning matches, but like ultimately not feuding with anybody in any meaningful kind of way. And then FTR without the belts, they're boring because they don't know. Yeah, they could wrestle, but like without the belts, they got no personality. So at least maybe this way, these guys can do something, anything, except bore the shit out of me. And then feuding with the Inner Circle, I kind of need it because the Inner Circle hasn't feuded with anybody of any measure and import at all. Even when they were messing with the Nightmare Family, it was really just them with their own. How many stupid fucking pardon my French? How many stupid council meetings did they have? How many times did they sit at a podium and talk about the state of this and
We
that?
talked
Like,
about this. Inner Circle was a promo group.
I don't want promos. They got two of the best tag team wrestlers in Pride and Powerful. They got Wardlow. They got what's his name, Hagar, who can still go. Like they have all the talent in the world, and instead I'm just watching Chris Jericho and whoever he tags with every damn week, and it bores the piss out of me. Give me good matches. That's what I want. Sorry, rant over.
Right. Hey, this was unexpected. This came from left field, right field, out the outfield. I didn't see this coming. When he was on the floor, he said, well, I actually got my own group. Light turns up, comes back on. You see FTR, Tully Blanchard, and Spears. And they beat the shit out of the Inner Circle. Bro, that right there, I popped. Because right now, what you see now is MJF is Ric Flair. Sean Spears is Barry Windham, because now he has the bleach hair with the black glove, just like Barry Windham. And FTR is Arn Anderson and Tony Blanchard. That's basically what they are. Now is when that group will look powerful, because then you have muscle in the big dude Wardlow, and you have the management skills of Tony Blanchard as J.J. Dillon as type deal thing. Now you see them go out and start winning belts. And that's what the Horsemen were always about, winning belts. They have no belts, they talk shit, they went and got belts, and now everybody got belts. So I see Spears getting the championship belt from Allen or whatever, Darby. I see the tag team FTR, and then I see Mr. MJF becoming the world heavyweight champion.
All right.
By All In, that is going to happen. You're going to see that group with all the belts just looking like the championship studs that they should be.
Yeah,
they shouldn't even call themselves the Four Horsemen. They should just call themselves the Young Studs. Yeah.
I think that you're absolutely losing your mind. If those guys, Sean Spears being a TNT champ,
I lost my mind.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sean Spears is buns. He should not have any title whatsoever. Just because you're in a faction doesn't make you good. I could point out 20 guys on the roster that are better than him. And then I get what you're saying with the Ric Flair thing. I get what you're saying, Ric Flair with MJF. But my thing is, MJF is a goofy rich kid. Like, he acts more like a spoiled rich kid brat than a Ric Flair playboy status guy.
Legit. I mean, you're not wrong, but again, there's only so much they can literally rip off the old school dudes. They got to put a different spin on it. Because if they do, then everyone's just going to say they're the not Four Horsemen. You don't want that. You want to sort of do your own thing a little bit.
Who was the guy that got kicked out the Horsemen by Lex Luger? What, didn't Luger like beat somebody up and take them out?
Ole Anderson.
Ole.
Do you think that Wardlow will eventually do that and actually become a member, or do you think Wardlow once again is an odd man out?
Well, I think Wardlow is a member, and you just said that right. He probably would take Sean Spears' spot later on if Sean Spears becomes the losing cog of the group. He'll be ousted out of the group, and Wardlow would take that spot, even though he's already there. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like the muscle behind, like a big boss man. Bubba Rogers used to be with Jim Cornette. Be back there, big muscle dude that's always behind, Tony Blanchard or whatever.
Because to that point, Sean Spears can win by cheating his ass off. His record shows he gets wins and he cheats to do it. So he's gonna cheat to get the belt, which is fine. Like he's a heel. Go heel, bro. Take your belt. Holding on to is gonna be another matter entirely. So I agree. I could totally see Wardlow tending his ass the fuck out of the ring when he can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and becoming that Lex Luger, Sid Vicious type, the muscle of the group. You know, that actually
Macho,
looks like that.
you have no idea how much homework I had to do because I'm not a big Four Horsemen guy. I didn't know a lot about the Four Horsemen. I'm not gonna lie. He's so invested in the Four Horsemen that I was like, yo, dude, for like a week, I was watching nothing but Four Horsemen footage, promos, and when I seen the guy, when I seen Lex Luger beat the guy out, I was like, oh snap, that might be Wardlow. I got a gem for, Evil Once. So like, I was excited that all this bullshit research that I've done for no reason but the podcast actually was worth something for me, which I do like the group. I'm still an N.W.A guy for life, but
just remember the four in for life comes from the Four Horsemen. Never forget this. This is about the Four Horsemen. All right, it's not by chance.
Horsemen, it's N.W.A for life.
The symbol of excellence, right here, baby.
The greatest heel stable in wrestling history.
Period.
Allegedly.
Mount Rushmore.
If you're gonna put four heel wrestlers on a mountain, it's those guys. Of course, Ric Flair's got like the best spot because he's the Nature Boy.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. So, have I missed anything in AEW?
Yeah, but I mean, how much of it is really worth really kicking over? Because Sheeta's still champ.
I like Sheeta's champ. I
think Sheeta's fine, but she can't cut a promo to save her life. Dude, look, can she wrestle? Yes. Did I like her in New Japan? Yes. Did I like her everywhere else she's been? Yes. Do I enjoy her here? No, because she only comes out and wrestles and gets like a handful of like packaged promos. She doesn't talk shit because she can't. Well, she's still learning English.
Wait. In her defense, though, a lot of the women don't get a lot of time to talk.
Legit. But then now you trotted out, what's her name? Jade Cargill, who sits there and chews up fucking minutes with fucking Cody.
Well, look, you know why? That's time. Because it's the Cody thing.
I understand. I'm saying they got time and they can just cut Cody out and give them some time. It's not hard.
I got two words for the women's division. Miko Ito.
I knew you were going to be excited because she's legit all elite now. She's here.
I love Miko Ito.
I'm still waiting on what's her name, Vendi or Vetti?
Yeah, Venny.
I'm telling you, there's never, and it's weird because it's a female. There's never been a wrestler in my life of watching wrestling. Now, ever since I've been a little kid, I've been watching wrestling. I've never. Years. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I've never watched. You got me. I've never watched one match by one person and considered myself a fan because I don't like a lot of people. I barely like 90% of wrestling. I watched her wrestle one match and I was like, I'm a fan. And I've never done that before. She's done that. I've never did that for Rocky Maivia. Into the Rock, it took me time to enjoy the Rock. Blah, blah, blah. But I do think the women's roster is 6 billion times better than a few months ago where we were like, this roster's suspect. You got so much talent out of the AEW women's roster. I mean, we're still seeing Thunder Rosa, who, once again, I think Thunder Rosa and my partner here. What are you going to say? Be very careful with your words.
That's my pick. Okay, she should be champ now. She should be champ for a year. All right, she would elevate that division.
Unfortunately, she can't at the moment because she's still on the contract with N.W.A, which is coming back next week. So she'll have to go back home till her contract
is put a bullet in N.W.A already?
If not, they would have put that belt on her a long time ago.
Yeah.
If it wasn't because of that contract.
I'm telling you right now, when that contract is over, expect her to get the bag, come right back home, because she obviously loves where she's working.
Yeah.
And that title will be thrown on her as soon as she comes back like that. So I'm really excited for that. But I love the women's roster. I knew you'd be excited when your girl came in. So the women's roster is getting better. But I do think if they're not going to give them time on TV to talk on a Wednesday, give them Tuesday to do it. You got to let these girls do their thing.
I disagree.
And even for that new show on Monday with Big Show and
Shivani,
if they're supposedly going to do less matches and more bio, this is the chance to introduce some of those females. Let them talk for 5 minutes where they came from, how they got into wrestling, blah, 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 blah. And then you start building them just like that with fans if they want to watch on Monday.
I disagree. I think they should give them a slot on Wednesday. Listen, there's enough chaff on that Wednesday night show to cut. I can be honest. There are so many things that they do that I just kind of like, I'll tune out for 5-10 minutes at a time, that they could put together another match. Okay? It's just true. Cody's segment, you can cut 5 minutes just from Cody's fucking entrance. Okay? That shit takes way too long, pointless, with the fucking pyrotechnics.
And one more thing, though. I'm still surprised in 2021, not one company that has a big pool of females like WWE and now AEW has actually done, let's do an all-female show 1 hour on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday. WWE has like 100-something females. Now they have NXT Tag Team Champions. You have two women's champions, 2 different divisions. Let them wrestle in this show and elevate that. Now you could do that with AEW, is have an all women's show Wednesday nights, on YouTube, Thursdays, on Friday, whatever. You have the talent, that way we could see who they are and give them time to build their feuds. I'm surprised no one has done that yet.
I agree. And the time to have done that was last year. When Becky Lynch popped like she did, when she went over like a nuclear fucking missile, that was their clue. That was everybody's clue to go, you can sell merch. Regardless, like, how you feel about her is irrelevant. It's the fact that she is like a canary that tells you that this is fertile land. Okay.
Wait, you got a flag. You got the flag.
What?
You got the flag,
bro. I don't personally think she can go in the ring, but what I think doesn't matter. The fact that she sells merch and people will talk about her like she's the shit. That's what's important.
How did she get over?
Over Charlotte with the help of Ric Flair.
With the man gimmick, right?
Yes.
So she stole Ric Flair's gimmick, right?
Actually, she got punched in the face first.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
That's how she got over. Like getting her clock cleaned. That's what officially put her over. All right. And when she embraced, like, I'm tough as nails, I'm the man now, that's what skyrocketed her. All right. And she works hard. Okay. She does the job. She does her damn thing.
Who was a better wrestler, Bayley or her?
Bayley.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Without question. But that, again, being a better wrestler in some places doesn't make the difference. It's how much merch you sell and how much popularity you have. And the point I bring her up is because of her popularity, in that there are just as many talented women in other areas who could get over like her if they had the time. So, you have a stack roster of women, give them a slot, give them 1 hour, give them a 1 hour show. Put it anywhere you want, doesn't matter.
They should have took a blueprint out of Glow.
Yeah, but I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid of how they would go about it. I think they think their demographic is really specific, and they're afraid to push it.
Because listen, we're older. The three of us, we're roughly in the same age bracket. We are in the same age bracket, right? We were conditioned younger to watching bra and panty matches, mud matches, where women just had to show their tits and ass to get over. All of a sudden, listen, I am not mad at it. I am not going to sit here and act like, ill, yuck. No way.
Dude, Molly Holly had to convince them she would shave her head. just to get a match on WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
But we go from that to TNA. And let's keep it honest here. TNA started the women's revolution.
Impact Wrestling, you mean?
No. That
he
did
means
not
back
happen
in the
on
day,
Impact
TNA
Wrestling.
and
That
TNT.
happened on TNA. TNA started the women's revolution.
Yo, say what you want. Their women's division was one of the best women's divisions for a long time.
TNA.
All right? Yes.
Absolutely.
I just hate those 3 letters. Those 3 letters. Ugh.
You got to let that go, brother. Listen, wrestling is wrestling at the end of the day. You can sit there and put your blinders on if you want. That's your prerogative. But I'm not brand loyal to anything. I've been watching wrestling too long to sit there and be like, this is good or bad because Coke and Pepsi. I'm over that. I'm past it. If you got good wrestling, I'll watch it. If your wrestling's trash, I'll trash it. That's just me. Tara and a bunch of the women in their women's division back in the day, Gail Kim and all the rest. Gail Kim is the GOAT, and nobody can tell me otherwise. All right, that woman put in more hours and more time putting over women's wrestling than anybody has any rights to. All right, so they've had several opportunities in the last 15 years to put together a women's stable or a women's show for an hour and a half, and they still can, and they still don't, and it's a travesty and a waste.
But you could do it now, is what we're saying. The market is there. It's sitting there waiting for you to take it. Like, real talk. It's just, my wife is not the biggest wrestling fan, but we watch Glow and she enjoyed the hell out of it. You know what I mean?
There's still things like Shimmer, Evolve, and a few of the other women's only wrestling divisions, but they never get a primetime slot. They don't have any contracts with any major publications, so it's going to be a rough thing. But to both of your points, I agree. AEW could pull the trigger. They're constantly talking about their fucking heels thing all the time. They could go.
Hold up. Now, I know he's watched it. Did you watch the first time that Jade versus Gail Kim?
Yes.
Okay. As much as I know Evil Onse likes to diss the Impact Zone, right? That match, the whole Impact Zone was popping for. That match, I got to talk to one of their greatest of all times. Won't say his name for that because he's there. And I said, yo, big bro, I said, that match blew out the whole set of tapings. What do you think? And he goes, it was long past due. He goes, these women here, they could do this all the time. They could main event, whatever. He goes, you have the young girl who can flip around, do everything you want to see. You have the veteran who could do everything you want to see. And those two are better than everything we have as a male thing going on.
You know, like you guys were saying, right now is the perfect time. You had the hashtag to me movement. You just had Women's Day a couple of days ago. We're into that time frame now. Yes. in the world where women are taking their rightful place as number one over anything. This is the time now, like you mentioned, to pull the trigger on an all-women's show. Either AEW or even Connecticut could do it and say, this is because of you guys. We are here because of you strong women who finally are showing up and finally taking your place from 100 years that you should have been in front of everything. Now is the time. You make that show, they'll get viewers. Even if you put it on YouTube, they will get viewers.
You know what, Ed? We did a show today, me and Macho, and I was going to talk MLW, kind of quickly brief through it, and went into how much Salina de la Renta is changing the entire wrestling game. You know what I mean? And that's what the show kind of transitioned to real fast. Maybe 3 minutes we talked, and then it went into her. You're seeing a girl who's obviously a gorgeous woman who went from a valet to taking over MLW to now possibly bringing in Lucha Underground, a whole new aspect. Everything she's touching turns to gold. You know what I mean? Like, and this is a woman who's in a male industry, and she's changing the game. At this point, you have to strike with these women now because it's just sitting there. If you wait too long, it loses its thing, and then it becomes well, this is what you were afraid of, and y'all missed the mark on it.
I mean, to your point, Lucha even had mixed matches
I
where they had
hate
their female
intergender
talent.
matches.
I was fine with it because some of them could really go.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question though. Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey are pretty much in the same weight bracket, right?
Conor McGregor is gonna like that's okay. There's a
Hold
difference
up.
for me.
I will say, wait. I will sit there and say that Ronda Rousey beats the shit out of me, right? I'm not an MMA fighter. I'm not a professional fighter. But if I put a professional fighter at her weight, Conor McGregor destroys Ronda Rousey.
Yes, but you're talking about a different kind of sport.
No. I'm talking about if he whoops her ass, it becomes that he's a piece of shit for hitting a woman. But
not
if the woman wins, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. There's no value for a guy to win a match.
That's not true. Because wrestling is kayfabe. Okay, we got to acknowledge there's a kayfabe aspect of wrestling that's there for a reason. Okay, when China came in, all right, and intergender. But the point is, it's there. Okay, you believe someone as big and strong as China can slap around Mark Henry, Khali, or whoever she feels like because she's big and intimidating. Okay,
because she's big and intimidating.
Beth Phoenix, another big girl. I would not be surprised if she, back in her day in her prime, she can mix it up with the dude.
As much as I like Beth Phoenix's presence never felt like China's. China felt like a heavyweight champion. China moved like a heavyweight champion. And when she had her little thing with Eddie Guerrero, not as when they were a couple, when he was trying to be the king of the ring and everything, you were okay with China moving up the bracket because China earned that.
But this is my point. If they're able to put in some convincing wrestling, there's no reason why it can't happen. Now, I'm not saying it should be an all-the-time thing because it shouldn't. However, Lucha Underground convinced me in the couple of seasons that I watched it, there's a handful of chicks who could go. And these dudes are not so stuck in their mentality that they're not willing to take a match with a woman and lose. All right,
if you're talking about somebody like Ivelisse, though, Ivelisse comes out bandana over her face like she's from the gutter.
La Sicaria, she can go, okay?
But she looks like she's from the street, of course.
Okay, but my point is that they're there, all right? And we can name a few instances where that's the case, all right? And if there's there, then it shouldn't be something so far out of the stretch that you can't believe any of it, all right?
Leave that shit on the independents.
What's the next topic, man? Because we way off.
You know what? Swan, Moose, title for title, unification, whatever you want to call it.
I'm a clown this. Give it to Havoc.
Wait. So
Havoc can squash fucking Swan.
I want you to go last. If you're going to do what you want, save that energy for last. Evil Onse, go ahead, brother.
I like this because it puts a lot of attention coming up now on Saturday's Resolution pay-per-view because of what's going to happen with the winner going up in April against Kenny Omega. I hate it because what's going to happen in April coming up against Kenny Omega. Because whoever wins that match is going to lose that match in April unless they do a DQ or something to keep the belts in Impact Wrestling. I hate the fact that they might lose that belt to Omega and AEW, which further gives my conclusion in my head that AEW is going to buy Impact soon. And that's what I hate. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I hate what's going to happen in April. If whoever wins this match, and I'm hoping it's Moose, not Switch Swan, goes up against Omega, and Omega actually wins that match and takes the title. Now you have no champion for Impact Wrestling.
Omega's over there.
It makes no sense.
Omega's on Impact more than TJP, the champion, the X Division champion.
I know that, but now Omega's going to win the championship. There's going to be no champion at the show because Omega's not going to be on Impact every Tuesdays. So
it's pre-taped. All he has to do is be there for one set.
One set.
I
know, but It's just, at some point, it's going to have to match. The production's going to have to match with what's going on. And this is my fear that Omega is going to take everything. AEW is going to take everything and just take Impact out. Because you can't have a show without a champion unless they go and say, okay, we need a champion, so let's bring another belt.
Disagree. They've already done it. Impact's already gone months without a champ. They've gone months without anything important. Dude, their title was in flux when what's her name got fired. Tessa Blanchard. All right. Who, by the way, could easily show up on AEW any day now.
I'll stop watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chef. I'll definitely be skipping her shit.
Look, I know she's not good people, but you know what? People got to learn from their mistakes. I'll leave it at that.
No. She's made this mistake one too many times, and she did that racist shit. She no longer gets a pass.
I thought it was just the one time when they fired her.
Why do you think WWE got rid of her?
I mean, this WWE, they get rid of everybody. They sign checks and sign people off all the time.
She had an attitude issue there. They said hit the brakes. Impact gives her life. They give her the craziest. They gave her the red carpet like they've never gave a male or Gail Kim the greatest of all time. They put her on a plateau to be the greatest Impact person of all time, and she threw that shit in the gutter, had no respect for her fans because she never once did a video to say, hey, my fans, this is that. If you don't give a fuck about your fans, then I don't give a fuck about you.
Okay. That's legit. Back to the point, though. Swan and Moose could feud. They can trade that belt. They can lose it to Omega. Omega can walk off with it and another title if he feels like it. Because ultimately, that's still going to put people watching Impact to see what happens with that title. Do I think they're going to do that for long? Not really. Not honestly. They might do it for a couple of weeks or something like that.
Well, the funny thing is, I just thought about it. It's supposed to be a new unification match. So that means they're going to give the new champion after Saturday a new belt and then keep those two belts on the side. So if Omega does win, you still have those two belts on the side. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, I thought the unification meant that whichever TNA belt, Impact or TNA belt wins, that belt becomes the belt.
Yeah, so I figured they would just give the new belt instead of just giving whichever belt. Because I definitely do not want to see Moose winning and still having that stupid TNA belt.
That belt is gorgeous.
Whatever.
That belt looks so much better than their Impact belt, dude. It's not even funny.
Absolutely. You know what it is? If that belt didn't say TNA on it, he would love that belt.
Won't say you're making this too easy, bro. You keep throwing the flag on the TNA thing.
I need somebody to come with a spray can and spray the TNA right off. Like N.W.A will do. Just
look, say what you want. Until AEW has as many years under their belt as TNA, the comparison is going to be there. It just is. And at the rate they're going, they could very much end up the next TNA or WCW or whatever the hell you want to call it, because they got the same people behind the scenes. You still got JR, you still got Shivani, you still got all these dudes who are all part of TNA for a hot minute behind the scenes at AEW. To me, it just feels like TNA light, WCW light.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because I think Tony Khan is the right person. Tony Khan understands the business. Tony Khan also has the pockets for this business, and he actually gives a shit. Like, Tony Khan legit loves wrestling. There's a difference between, and I don't want to say this because Eve Alone say will have a field day with it. Even though I love Madam Dixie Carter, she might have loved this industry. Here we go. But she got lost in the shuffle and didn't understand how to maneuver. That's where she made mistakes. Tony Khan isn't going to make the same mistakes that Dixie made.
Every federation makes mistakes. Every one of them. Nobody walks through this business in the short or long term and doesn't make mistakes. I remember distinctly the words "yete." So
yeah, but she didn't. Remember, she needed somebody like Eric Bischoff for what was the network that they were on?
TBS.
Spike. She needed him for Spike. Tony Khan don't need nobody. He got all the connects himself.
That's legit.
Tony Khan can buy Impact, get TBS to put Impact on TBS as their second show, and all of a sudden you got two big shows on two big networks just like that. Impact's membership rises. You start taking the Danny Limelights, the Ryzins, the everybody else on Dark. You send them over there. All of a sudden, that roster gets a whole flux of new guys. You have a tag team division that grows. You have the X division that's going to have so many more guys. All of a sudden, Impact roster goes up sixfold. You're like, oh shit, Impact looks a whole lot better. The Dark guys are nothing to sneeze at. Austin Gunn, who's on Dark, that is a bright future for a young kid. If you put him in the X division, him. I always forget the other brother's name. But
I do. First of all, I didn't know he had a son. And then one day he popped up with another kid. I'm like, whoa, when he got two kids?
Oh, he's been had those kids be eating Wheaties, dude. They're some big boys.
I knew about Austin Gunn for a while. I while.
But I didn't know about the other kid.
And the other kid looks exactly like Austin Gunn and his dad. Like he popped out. Well, his wife popped out two kids that look carbon copy, just as big as their dad.
And I think it's Colt. It's Colt or Colton or something like that.
Yeah, Colton or something like that. Yeah.
Here's my thing: is you take all those Dark guys who were stuck on Dark. Dark, you don't even need it at that point. You save your money on a second show with Dark. You let Impact. Well, obviously he funds both, but Impact puts its own numbers up. You got guys, and I'll use guys like Eddie Edwards, who's a veteran. You know what I mean? You have so many veteran guys, Sammy Callahan, et cetera, that help bring these guys up, show them the right way of their locker room. You know what I mean? Because this is our locker room. Respect our locker room. You're going to be the future of Impact Wrestling. All of a sudden, Impact brings all these guys up. You can still do your crossovers. Now, Impact sits there, has their own top-notch show. If those guys rise, you're looking at two phenomenal products under one umbrella.
Here's my issue with that. I think Impact needs to go the way of the dodo. It really does. If they're going to take it, rebrand it as AEW, whatever it is.
No, it's got to stay Impact.
That's how you feel about it, but I don't. Because I don't I don't feel like Impact is enough of a draw in and of itself, even with money putting into it. All right, that's like good money after bad. It can't maintain its numbers. It barely can. There's a reason why it fell off of a cable show into a barely cable show. All right. They had Sinclair Broadcasting. It's not like they couldn't do it. They just weren't able to make it work. So
Sinclair belongs to ROH.
Sinclair is where who put aside the TV Guide channel so that they can be on that channel on Access.
Anthem did that.
Was that Anthem?
Yeah, Anthem.
Okay. Sorry, Anthem.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Sinclair owns Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Sorry, I'm old and I've been watching this too long. Whether it's Sinclair or any of the other dudes who have all these TV channels to be able to put stuff on, the fact is they want numbers. All right, you have to put up at least 500,000 minimum. All right, 500,000. That's what they want to see. They want to see you hit the 1 million mark. They want to see you hit 1.5, 2 million, whatever it is. They want those numbers, but if you can't put them up, then that's just not a good investment. And Khan's a lot of things, but he's not necessarily interested in throwing money away on something that's not going to work.
But it's not, because TBS becomes TBS pumps money into it. Listen, as much as I don't like Eddie Edwards, let me say this here. If you're a new fan to Impact because, holy shit, what's this promotion that gets shitted on, but I could watch it on Thursday where there's no wrestling. And you watch an Eddie Edwards match, he's not going to blow you away. He's not going to do anything outside of his box. But you're going to see a clean match every single time Eddie Edwards is in a match. He's going to give you a straight up clean match that you're going to enjoy. Outside of me joking around saying he's boring and his promos do suck, but Eddie Edwards And you point me one Eddie Edwards match where you thought there's mad botches in it. You don't, because he wrestles so clean. He's a good technical wrestler, and he knows how to run a match. He is very clean like that. That's one thing I'll always say about Eddie Edwards. You also have
he's boring. That's his biggest failing, is he's boring. Look, whether he was part of the American Wolves,
which you were a fan of, don't stunt.
It wasn't him. He didn't make the Wolves fun for me. His partner did, okay?
Davey.
Yes, Davey made that for me. He just happened to be there. All right. And as a tag team, they're entertaining to watch. By himself, with this I'm a drunk Irish guy from the middle of Ohio gimmick, dude, he might as well be a fucking
yardie. Where did he ever
say
Ohio?
What's that?
Where did he ever say Ohio? He's always wearing his Red Sox shit.
Bro, it feels like he's just some white guy from the middle of Ohio who likes to fight.
So basically, he's the young version of the Sandman.
He's got his stick. He gets a stick from Sandman.
Yes,
it's all the same thing.
Yeah, he's a young version of Sandman.
This isn't a stretch for a gimmick, okay? It's right down the middle. It's paint by numbers, and it's boring to watch. He gets angry. He hits people with his stick. He's anti-establishment, whatever.
I'm half with Chef and I'm half with Macho because he is kind of boring in the ring, though. But there's nothing spectacular about him in the ring.
No, which is fine. But if it's if you have a new product, you still got your veterans like Eric Young and James Storm there. So
calling it Impact makes it not. But it's not a new product if you're calling it Impact. You'd have to rebrand it.
No. Here it is. If you're an old TNA fan and you complain, I can't get this on whatever, I gotta wait for Twitch or something, and you're an older person, you don't want Twitch. Now it's on TBS. Now you have your Chris Sabins, you have your James Storms, Eric Young, you have your Joe Doring, or however you say his last name. If you're a younger fan, you have your Eddie Edwards, you have your Sami Callihan's, Rosemary's still there. You have all that. If you add in all the young guys from Dark, like Danny Limelight, Ryzin, the Guns, you're getting 3 different generations of fans.
Sure.
So they tune in. So their numbers come up because, oh, snap, I now have it on TBS. I can watch it. I don't got to wait for YouTube.
Here's my issue. I already get that watching Raw. Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Raw's horrible. Can't watch
Raw. Raw is 3 hours of a permanap for me. Okay, I will eat something, turn on the first hour of Raw, be okay interested, and then like doze off halfway through it. Okay, and for the next 2 hours, I'm in and out because they have a mix of young guys, old talent. They have all the things you're talking about, but it doesn't do it. I don't care. It just isn't enough. They need to rebrand. They need to push their young talent. They need to stop screwing around with all these old ass dudes. All right. If they're not there to either be valets, managers, or get the young talent over, you're wasting time. It's true.
The thing is also that I'm a little upset and disappointed. It's supposed to be cross promotion. Everybody's supposed to be working together. You've seen Omega come to Impact. You've seen the Good Brothers go to AEW. That's
it.
Where are the females? I haven't seen that one female do a crossover. I haven't seen a mid-card guy do a crossover. Get some guys from Impact, put them in the AEW and get some exposure if they don't see them on a Tuesday where Access TV is. Get Pretty Thug to go up there and beat the shit out of Ivelisse Diamante.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Get some eyes going up there, do something. But they're not doing anything.
Onset, to your point earlier, though, they barely have time for their own people. They don't have time for their own women because of Cody's long-ass promos. Look.
Hold up.
Use Tuesdays. Perfect night on AEW.
My beef
Dark is the perfect night to start doing some promos, do some storylines on Tuesday. Make that show feel like it's a real show, not just a squash show where you have one good guy go up against one bad guy and you already know who's going to win. I mean, you pretty much you see the matches on Dark. You already know who's going to win, and there's no question on who the winner is going to. SCU is wrestling. We know SCU is going to win because of the storyline that if they lose, they break up. You say she ain't losing to nobody there. You see the Will Hobbs, he ain't losing. Brian Cage, he ain't losing on Tuesday. And these guys are just picking up losses and losses and losses and losses. Stop building some storylines there and make that show feel like a real second show instead of just, oh, well, it's dark. It's going to be a bunch of squashes, an hour and a half of squash matches. And, we're going to see Catalina Perez get her ass kicked again. Danny Limelight lose again. My boy, Fuego del Sol, who's good as hell, he keeps losing every week. I saw him do the first time I ever seen a tornado DDT from the top rope. He leaped from the top rope on QT Marshall and boom, dude, I've never seen that shit in my life. And he lost because we already know he was gonna lose.
Absolutely. Here's my
Tuesday
beef with
night is they should call it AEW squash. It's gonna AEW dark because it's always squash. You already know who's gonna win. Change it up. Make some storylines. And take 15 of those matches that you give us and give me 7 with promos in between and build something out of it.
I'm half sold. I'm halfway between Chef and I'm halfway between you. Like, I would totally just gut Impact and put them over on Tuesday and let them mix it up with everybody.
Impact now, shit.
Fuck
Impact. Hold on.
Impact is trash.
Hold on.
Whoa. Hold up there, homeboy. Oh, time out. You get 2 flags for that comment. Whoa.
I got
Impact
flags.
Is not...
You want to wave this white one about your Impact? Go on. Hit me. Come on.
Impact is not trash. Impact is good. They just like any company, they have their ups and downs.
Hold up. What I will say, and this is not me trying to team up on nobody's side here. I'm not doing the play defense thing. Impact Wrestling does not have a true superstar. That is not a surprise. But this is what the partnership was supposed to be doing, was to build up storylines to make guys look better. Now, I'm a big fan of the walking weapon. What's his name?
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander. I think Josh Alexander, if he keeps going in the right direction, he could be a star. I'm not going to say a superstar, but I think a star. Why somebody that talented cannot be going against Cody or QT Marshall or anyone else, I don't know. The Jake something guy, another very talented brother. I don't understand how he can't be going to AEW. So it's like Impact's roster, I say it all the time, that shit is limited as hell. Half the people I could care less about. But unless you transition to do this partnership the right way, there's really no point for the partnership. You had the women's tournament. You didn't see one girl from Impact Wrestling. Why Deonna Purrazzo wasn't in there, who's better than most of those girls over there, I don't know. Why you didn't have, anybody. You have all these things going on, and all we see is, once again, the Bullet Club shit.
And that'd be good if Deonna Purrazzo is still champion by August, September for All In. She could be challenging the champion AEW. That would be a super show. That makes sense when you have champions going up against each other in one big show. Like they could make their own WrestleMania as All In is their big show. Now this is the big daddy of AEW. 4 hours of champions from New Japan, from AEW, from Mexico, from their Impact, and you have it. I know there's still politics behind the door, so they'll pick the winners. But to see something like that, it'll make the other companies and their belts feel legitimate.
The way I want to end this, and this is no surprise that I'm a Rohit fan. Rohit is what
I don't get to respond to this. Or is it just is it enough for me to just say it's trash? Is that good enough? Because I can say it's basura and leave it alone, but I got reasons behind it. I'm not just saying stuff to say it.
I thought you were finished with your piece.
No. I had to stop and wait because I wanted to hear Once say his piece about Impact. Okay, and look, I'm not saying that they don't have talented wrestlers. They do. They have talented wrestlers. Their brand as a whole leaves a lot to be desired. Only until recently.
I agree with him on that. I agree.
Only until recently did I care about their commentating team because Josh Matthews. Okay.
Thank you.
They finally put somebody on who's at least I can listen to and not doze off. All right. I'm glad they brought D'Lo Brown on the commentary. All right. I'm fine with that. But watching Swingman, what's her face on their Just Talk, whatever little segment, Wrestle House, like, come on, man. Dude, that's all clown shoes. All right. There was nothing compelling about it. It was just them trying to figure out what they wanted to do with the talent they had. They didn't have any true purpose. Like, really, the real world with wrestlers, I guess.
Well,
sure.
And with Macho and what Macho's saying right now, man, the Knockouts division, you have 8 females in one storyline. Like, what is that shit? Like, the women's division is boring, and I'm shocked to even say that. At one time, that was the best division in wrestling, and now it's like what?
That's what I'm saying. So in no way have I been compelled to tune in and enjoy it. And if I can't do that, I'm sorry, bro. I got to call it like I see it. It's a waste. They wasted time, money, and talent, which equals trash for me. All right.
Tommy Dreamer sucks too.
Why is Tommy Dreamer wrestling for their main belt? All right. All respect to the dude for the time he put in. I can give him that much. But you telling me they don't have enough other talent that they couldn't give me a compelling heavyweight pay-per-view?
That show should have been Chris Bebe against Swan for the championship. That should have been the main event, not Tommy Dreamer.
Dude, their last Impact where I watch Bay and what's his face go at it. Was a great, yeah, Austin and Bay put on a barn burner of a match. So I know they had talent. They just squander it.
And so hold on. To my point, and this is how I wanted to end this, right? Now, I'm a Rohit guy. Rohit is a friend of the podcast, all that good shit. What he did with the X Division and gets no credit for, I'm not going to go into them giving Ace Austin the award. I already did that. But you're telling me a title like the TNT title with zero value, if you sit there and do your cross-promotion thing, it's not going to hurt AEW to have the TNT title on Impact Wrestling. It will not hurt it. If you have Rohit go against Darby Allin and Rohit expose Darby Allin because Rohit is a way better wrestler, cuts way better promos, Rohit takes that belt, and I guarantee you, if you let him do both shows and you have the Impact fans see him with that belt, they're like, oh shit, that's a pretty cool belt, even if it's ugly or not. And the AEW fans go, wow, this is what we're missing. Like, we have a guy who doesn't need a former WCW Hall of Famer.
That needs to happen. That needs to happen.
I personally would rather Tony Khan just buy up Impact's contract, bring the belts, bring the wrestlers over, put it on Tuesday, because they need belts. I'm going to be honest. AEW's biggest Achilles heel is they have a bunch of talent and nothing to fight over. All right. They need a trios belt. They need other belts. They need some belts to fight for. And Impact has plenty of belts.
You need a mid-card belt. There's no mid-card belt.
All right, I got to sit through fucking Stang and fucking Darby Allin every fucking week, do next to nothing with that TNT belt. That's their mid-card belt. Whatever.
They also need a junior heavyweight belt.
They need a light heavy. They need a cruiserweight. Guess who's got an X Division belt? Take the X Division belt. Take all of Impact's belts, yank them over to AEW, rebrand them. I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Unify a few belts, throw everybody under one umbrella, and let them go.
I'm good with it as long as it stays Impact Wrestling. Or, to not piss off Evil Once, I won't say the 3 letters, but... Gentlemen, we touched on everything. Is there anything left that you want to talk about?
Nope.
I mean, I would jump on Evil Once until the counter comes down to the fireworks, but he don't need me, bro. He's good. I don't need to save Once. I don't need to take that Kingston spot. It's fine.
So if we were going through an explosion, you'd do the sell, huh?
I'd sell it. I'd sell it for own sake. I'd sell it. It hurt my
Listen,
feelings,
ladies
but
and
I'd sell
gentlemen,
it.
4th of July weekend, we might have to get some sparklers on the podcast, and let's see what happens here. For myself, Macho, Evil Once, Evil Orbit, we're going to be out of here, baby.
Don't forget the website. The website.
Listen, hold on. Evil Once wants to come at me for the website. I almost came out of here and clicked it. I'm ready. It's on there. It's www.urbanwrestlingnetwork.com. He even has our link for our shirts and everything.
The store.
It's going to be a drop the way it comes in. Looks super sick. Even though he's saying I did not see it, which I seen it. I think he's also getting Bill Vink's channel on there as well. So
it's there.
It's there. So we have B Dollar, Master Bryce. We got Bill Vink and what he's creating. We have all of our stuff. We have our channel We have our clothing that's going to be sitting there as well with a straight direct link for it. Everything that we do is sitting there. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, if you don't want to throw the www, just go urbanwrestlingnetwork.com. We are the craziest bunch of Puerto Ricans you'll ever have in your life. And we out of here.